Hey, it's Dr. Fanistel. I want to talk today about mindfulness and meditation in a way that's maybe a little different than you've heard about it before. If you're somebody who's tried to meditate and you're thinking, it just doesn't work for me, or I can't get my brain to stop to even do meditation. I mean, I can when I'm already relaxed, but if I'm, not relaxed or something, my brain's going like this. The meditation doesn't get me out of that. I can't slow my brain down. Or for any other reason, if you just think, well, I did it, and sometimes I feel a little calmer, most of the time, no, I'm not sure what that's doing for me. If you're in that club, join the club. I probably started trying to meditate 28 different times. I'd go for a few days, a few weeks, I'd fall off, I'd start again a few months later thinking, this must be good for me. Now I'm kind of addicted to it. I do it 5 out of 7 days, probably in the morning. But my reason for it has changed, and my understanding of it has changed. So I want to talk today about the concept of metacognition. It's a sometimes overlooked quality of meditation. And metacognition just means stepping back and watching your thoughts. And I have a lot of people who are like, what does that mean? Or how can I do that? Let me start with my little old blue-haired lady story. This is an elderly woman. She's in her 80s, sharp as a tack, and she was late to an appointment. And she said, I'm late today because I walked out of my retirement apartment building where I live, and we have assigned parking spaces, and this guy walked up to me, and I know him. He lives there. He goes, hey, your car is parked crooked in your parking space. You should park better. And he's done this to me before, told me that I didn't park right. No, I'm 100% in my space. So you know what I did? I looked at him and I said, fuck you. And I'm like, oh crap, you did, geez. And I said, there's 2 ways to say that. The first way is the guy walks up, tells you haven't parked right, and you say, fuck you. The second way to say it is the guy walks up and tells you haven't parked right, and you say, you know what? I'm starting to feel angry. I can feel it in my body, the tension, the tightness, the fists are getting clenched. Anger's an okay emotion, totally acceptable. It's the right emotion when somebody crosses a boundary. I want to get angry. I hope you get angry. It protects you. And you know what? He's crossed this boundary one too many times. Yeah, I'm going to say it. Fuck you. So the first way was a reactive way to say it. The second way was a mindful way to say fuck you. So let's talk about this a little bit. I think it's important to start with the understanding that you are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. And your emotions and your thoughts are not you. Now that sounds weird to some people, but your emotions and your thoughts just bubble up. I never decide to worry about my son or my daughter or something. I just find myself worrying. I didn't sit down and go, let me see, I think I'll spend the next 10 minutes worrying. No, it just happens. So by one measure of brain activity, the conscious mind is processing 40 bits of information per second. The subconscious mind is processing 11 million bits of information per second. 40 bits, 11 million bits. This is where thoughts and emotions bubble up from. Might be a smell that your subconscious brain associates with something. Might be something in your peripheral vision. You didn't really see it. Might be a word on the radio. You didn't hear it because you were having a conversation. 11 million bit per second brain heard that word, and all of a sudden, you're having a thought or an emotion that you didn't plan on. Meditation is not about stopping these thoughts and emotions. If you think meditation is about trying to stop yourself from having these thoughts, you're sadly mistaken. You're playing whack-a-mole with 40 hammers against 11 million moles. You're never going to win that game. Meditation is not about stopping your thoughts. Meditation is about stepping back from your thoughts and noticing them from a different angle. And if you've already been working on something like somatic tracking, you get the concept of stepping back from bodily sensations and just observing them. Oh, I see what's going on there. We can use the same concept for thoughts. Those also are autopilot brain circuits that are just coming up. These are things like pain. Your brain runs pain signals to keep you like this. Your brain runs thoughts. Oh, I've discovered that negative thoughts, that'll keep Brad in a hypervigilant state. Let me pull up some of those. So this is just your autopilot brain trying to keep you anxious. Can you step back and watch what it's doing? When I meditate in the morning now, I sometimes say, let me sit down and see what thoughts are going to come up, because they're going to come up. One time I was doing an exercise without any audio guide. Usually I use an audio guide, but for whatever reason this time I said, I'm going to do this little meditation. And I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes. And I'm going to pay attention to the sensation of the breath. And I'm going to use the mantra just on the inhale, this on the exhale. And the sensation of the breath and the words of the mantra are going to keep me focused on the present moment. And I hit my timer. Okay, just this. And within, 2-3 breaths, I started thinking about an email I had to write. And I thought about that for 20-30 seconds before I caught myself and went, oh, you're thinking, let's come back to the breath. Just this. 3 or 4 breaths later, I started constructing the email and I wrote the whole thing in my head. I had 3 points I had to make. It had to go out this morning. And only when I finished writing the whole email in my head did I realize, it probably took me 2 minutes while I was meditating to write the thing. And then I went, oh, wait a minute. I'm thinking. Come back to the breath. Just this. 3 or 4 breaths later, I'm at the hardware store because I had to pick something up on a broken, leaky toilet tank. So anyway, at the end of 15 minutes, I had spent, 2-3 minutes focusing on the breath, all in 5 to 10 second intervals. And the whole other 12-13 minutes, I was all over creation. But I didn't say, well, that was a waste of time. You could have washed the dishes while you did that meditation. Or you could have gone to the hardware store. Instead, I said, oh, that was excellent. I had a lot of opportunities to redirect my attention. Because the 40-bit per second brain, that's your attention. And that you can learn to get control over, even if none of us can control lizard brain. If you think of your worry thoughts, your OCD thinking, your catastrophizing thoughts or whatever as a waterfall of negative thinking that's beating you to death, meditation is not about finding the best umbrella to protect yourself from the waterfall or the best way to position your arms so you don't get hit by all these thoughts. Meditation is about stepping outside of the waterfall. The thoughts are still happening. You're just not caught up by them. So think of meditation then as just a chance to strengthen your attention muscle. Just like strengthening any muscle, it takes a little patience and some repetition and just doing it a little bit every day. You're not doing it to go to nirvana. You're doing it because you want to strengthen your attention muscle. And this is called metacognition, stepping back from your thoughts. Think of your consciousness as a train station, and thoughts come in on trains. A train comes in, there's a thought. But when you step back and realize, oh, there's that thought coming in, then you can decide, do I want to get on that train, let it take me for a ride, or do I want to stay here and just see what's going on? I think I won't get on the train of that particular thought. It might be worry, it might be shame, it might be some other negative thinking. Oh, there's a negative thought. Do I want to stick with that, or do I want to stay here? And you can decide, but in that little space, you've created just that little space to make the decision. There is a decision to be made, but you can't make the decision if you don't first step back and realize that these thoughts are just coming up. They're not your fault. You're not having them because you have some sort of brain disorder. You're having them because you have a brain that wants you to be hypervigilant. And it has figured out that negative thinking is a fantastic way to keep you hypervigilant. One last word about this, or something you might want to look into. A guy who talks about this in a way I really like is Joseph Wynn. He has a book called Don't Believe Everything You Think. And in that he talks about the difference between thoughts and thinking. Thoughts just come up. We all have those. It's the thinking about the thoughts that causes us so much problem. So I love his book, and you might want to get it and read it. It's an easy to read little thing. He's got a lot of good insights there. These thoughts can be incredibly compelling. And I get that. I get stuck in worry thoughts still, of course. I'm not freaking Buddha. But I get much better if I practice. I'm just practicing. If I practice every morning for a few minutes, watching my thoughts, even if I'm not particularly worrying at that time, if I just practice watching whatever thoughts arise, I'm so much better throughout the rest of the day at noticing when thoughts come up and stepping back from them. And I do it quicker with my worry thoughts, and I'm less likely to spend 10 minutes, 30 minutes stuck in my head, getting wrapped up in all my thoughts. Because I've practiced in the morning, I'll often remember, oh, wait a minute, what's going on? Oh, that's where my head's been. I think more important for helping my worry is those little mini breaks throughout the day of stepping back from my thoughts just for 10 seconds. But I forget to do the 10 seconds if I don't practice the 5 to 10 minute regular thing every morning. So there's a lot of deeper things to say about meditation. I'm not the world's best mindfulness teacher. There's people who know way more about it than I do, but I do think that this is an interesting way to look at it. And if you just think about it, I'm just strengthening my attention muscle, reminding myself that I can step back from my thoughts. It might be something you want to give a try again. I hope that helps some people out there, and there's nothing I talk about that is right for everyone. You do you. One of the core principles of mind-body medicine is that you have your own innate wisdom. It's in you. We're just looking for ways to find that, and if this appeals to you, give it a try. If it doesn't appeal to you, do something else. All right. Thanks for listening. I'm Dr. Fanistel at BoulderMindBodyMedicine.com. See you next time.